Nearly all of the hummingbirds found in the US and Canada are seasonal migrants, breeding and nesting up north, but spending the winter in the tropics of Central America. Twice a year, they make a journey that is truly epic. Given their body length, hummingbird migrations are the longest of any bird. A rufous might cover up to 6,000 miles round trip, shuttling between its winter home in central Mexico and the northern end of its breeding range in southern Alaska. A ruby throat's migration between Panama and its summer breeding grounds in the eastern US is nearly as long. That journey includes a marathon flight across the Gulf of Mexico. It's an 18-hour ordeal, over 500 miles of open water, with no place to stop and nowhere to feed until they reach land. Back in Baton Rouge, Nancy Newfield is making house calls.
Their customer. This is an adult male, Rufus, and oh, he's a looker.
Some of the birds she catches are already wearing bands.
358, so that's 2 years ago.
And a few were even banded right here on previous trips.
I've had Rufus come back for 8 years, ruby throats, black chins, calliopes for up to 6.
Banders have discovered that hummingbirds can live as long as 12 years. A ripe old age for such a small animal.
Let her sit in your hand.
And the birds follow the same routes year after year, returning to the very same gardens and breeding grounds.
This is a banded bird, a returnee, adult male Rufus, 3.9. So he's getting a little porky. He's putting on weight, getting ready to leave.
To survive the rigors of their long migration,
He's got a fat of 2.
hummers go on an eating binge and store the extra food as fat.
0 corrugations.
They may double their weight before setting out, putting on the extra 2 or 3 grams to sustain them on their journey. For the migrant hummers, there's plenty to eat, as more and more gardeners and backyard birders set up feeders and plant native flowers, which tend to be richer in nectar. Lately, there are some surprise guests at this banquet. Banding data reveal that migration patterns are changing. In the last few decades, more hummingbirds have been showing up along the East Coast during the winter, when they're usually found in Mexico. Van Remsen is a biology professor at Louisiana State University.
When I first got here, any hummingbird in Baton Rouge was a big deal. Now, most people who have hummingbird feeders out have 2, 3, 5, 10. It's a spectacular change from just the late 70s.
Remsen believes these hummingbirds are first migrating to the tropics as usual, and then veering north again a few months later to the Gulf Coast. No one knows exactly why. It's possible that a genetic variation altered the internal navigating system in a few birds, causing them to change their route. Since the new migration pattern is rewarded with food, the variation is passed on to new generations.
Built into hummingbird biology is this ability to track resources. They can adapt to new situations. I mean, they have added the Gulf Coast of the United States to the wintering range, and we're not talking about just a few individuals. There are probably hundreds and hundreds, maybe several thousand hummingbirds of several species that have added this piece of real estate to their winter range, come back year after year. Very flexible.